What is going on, baseball fans? Breaking news. The LA Angels have fired Joe Maddon. What is going on, everyone? An unexpected live stream here. I'm sitting in my apartment, and I'm having a relaxing day. I'm on summer vacation, and next thing I know, another manager has been fired. First Joe Girardi, and now Joe Maddon. If your name is Joe, you better watch out. Joe Torre, you better watch out. What is going on, everyone? How are we doing? Seeing a lot of familiar faces here in the chat. A lot of moderators here. What's going on? Ryan McDonald, Zachary, hello. Drew Blackwell, what is going on? Yes, like Drew says, hope all is well, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good day. What is today? Is today Wednesday? Is today Tuesday? I don't even know what day it is. I'm on summer vacation. I don't even know what day it is. What's going on? Ballcap Sports is here. What's going on? How are we doing? Timothy Thrift, what's going on? Odd Villain, James Hirota, one of our Angels fans, is here. He says, I am stunned. Yeah, I'm honestly, I can't believe this. You know, I just posted on my Twitter the gif of Ron Burgundy saying, boy, that escalated quickly. This Angels team was looking fantastic. They were 27-17, and then they just lose every single game from then on. Like, what the heck is going on with this Angels team? Holy cow. My goodness. What is going on? Ryan McDonald, Boba Fett, hello. How are we doing, everyone? Sports with AJ, what's going on? Tice Thompson, Nick, hello. Yes, summer vacation, going well. But let's get into this. My goodness, I don't even know where to start. I wasn't even really prepared. I just had to hop on here as quick as I could. But let's go to Jeff Passing, shall we? Here we go. It's a little bright in my apartment right now because, you know, hey, it's daytime. I'm not used to doing this during the day. I obviously have done streams during the daytime before, but it's always just a weird thing. But here we go. Jeff Passan. The Angels have fired manager Joe Maddon in the midst of a 12-game losing streak. And my Red Sox were the last team that Joe Maddon will ever manage against in an Angels uniform. And Michael Wacha last night. My goodness. My goodness. You know, was that the straw that broke the camel's back? Michael Wacha throwing a complete game against the Angels? You got to be thinking here, whoa, super chat coming in. Joe Girardi, hater, hello, a.k.a. Baseball Sports Talk. What's going on? This is a big win for the Angels. Joe Maddon made some of the worst managing moves I've ever seen in my life. It blows my mind he won a World Series. The big one was, I remember early in the season, it ended up working out in the Angels' favor, but a talked about one was when he did the intentional walk with the bases loaded. You know, that was kind of the big one, and everyone was like, what the heck are you doing, man? Joe Maddon's always been known for, you know, trying to go outside the box. That's kind of always been his thing. And I don't know. It just, everything was fine up until, you know, a couple weeks ago. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what the heck happened with this team. But my goodness. So, and here it was. This actually, it's showing it right here from MLB Metrics, showing the intentional walk with the bases loaded. So, but let's move on here and just to, you know, get a quick little update of how everything is looking right now. So the Angels, that is not updated. What is going on? What the heck is going on? But the Angels losing 12 straight. They're 27-29. They were right there for the West. They were right there. And my goodness, everyone was thinking, man, this Angels team, man, they could win the West this year. This team is looking good. I mean, you got to look at this Angels team, and obviously you're impressed with this team because there's so much talent all over the place. But losing 12 straight, and that's not going to help get things done. But let's take a quick look here, kind of just at how the Angels have been looking recently. So on Fangraphs, if we take a look at their offensive rankings going back to May 25th, which is when their losing streak started, they are 28th in offense since then. If we take a look at the starting pitching, not much better. They're 0-7 since that point. 27th in starting pitching. They have a 6.88 ERA, a 5.50 FIP. My goodness, you're walking a lot of guys. You know, you're not really striking out. This strikeout to walk ratio is miserable. Like, what the heck is going on with this? This needs to get better. Home runs, they're giving up a good amount of home runs as well. Taking a look at where they rank in relief pitching going back to May 25th. Dead last. Everything across the board has just been bad with this Angels team. Like, which is crazy to me, because if we actually let me actually do this here. Let me pull up here the stats from, let's do just April 1st up until May 25th. So I'll do April 1st to May 24th. So if we take a look, offensively, they were one of the better offensive teams. They were 4th in offense. They were batting .249 as a team. They had a .323 on base, a .426 slugging, 117 WRC plus. Now, the one thing that does stick out, now it's not going to be a make or break kind of a thing for a team, but it definitely can be something that can hinder a team. This negative 3.6 base running. So we saw the Yankees last year, not a good base running team. And we saw the Yankees kind of, up and down last year. And the Angels, I was wondering about this, I don't know if that really is, a big reason why, but it's definitely not helping, though. Negative 3.6 base running. So, but offensively, they were very good. 4th overall. If we go to the starting pitching, let's do the starting pitching. Let's go to April 1st here. And let's go. Nope, that's May 1st. Oh, another super chat coming in. What is going on? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Joe Girardi hater. Also, Phil's got hot after firing Joe G. Why not try? I wonder if you're onto something there, Joe Girardi hater. Maybe they saw how quickly the Phillies got it together. Maybe that could be a bit of a spark for the Angels. But that just goes to show these two teams are in win now mode. You never see managers get fired at this time ever. I can't even remember the last time before Girardi. I'm trying to think who was the last. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it never really happens. Usually that kind of stuff happens in the off season. Usually, and to see two managers in the middle of the season get fired, that is crazy. That is crazy. But taking a look at the starting pitching from April 1st to May 24th, the Angels were 9th overall. They were pitching really well. Now, there was one thing here. They weren't striking out a lot of guys. 8 strikeouts per 9. Now, I'm not saying that's bad. If you look at the Blue Jays, 8.3 strikeouts per 9. But they were walking less guys and giving up less home runs than the Angels. The Angels were walking more guys and right around the same for the home runs. So, and also, another thing with the Angels here, as I'm looking at these numbers, if you take a look at the BABIP, a 246 BABIP, that is extremely low, which kind of suggests that maybe the Angels were getting kind of lucky. When you take a look at league average, let me pull that up really quick. If we're looking at league average BABIP right now for starting pitching, so BABIP is a 286 across the league. And when you're seeing that low of a BABIP, batting average on balls in play, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're getting lucky, but I mean, when you're looking at the Toronto Blue Jays, who were 1st overall, and they had a 293 BABIP, I mean, you kind of see what I'm getting at here. The Angels, I think, maybe were getting a little lucky, because when you look at the strikeouts, they're not really blowing a lot of guys away. 8 strikeouts per 9. Again, Blue Jays, a little better there during that time, but they weren't walking as many guys. The Angels were walking 1 more per 9. So, I don't know. It sounds like with the Angels, when I'm looking at these numbers, things were catching up to them a little bit. So, if we take a look at the bullpen. Let me pull up the bullpen here. So, the Angels, that was one area that actually did scare me a little bit. Funny enough, I actually did a video on the Angels. I did the video, Are the Angels for Real? And one concern I did have with the Angels in that video was the bullpen. Now, 24th overall during from the beginning of the season all the way up until their losing streak. They were 24th overall. A 3.82 ERA is pretty good, but the FIP was a 4.16. So a little higher there. And if we're taking a look here, to me, I don't like low strikeouts out of the bullpen. That's just me. I like more strikeouts out of that bullpen. You got to have these guys come in and shut things down. And when I'm seeing 8, I mean, for starting pitching, I think that's fine because you're kind of just working your way through the lineups. But when you got the relievers coming in, you got to have these guys come in and shut things down. So when I'm seeing 8 strikeouts per 9, I don't know. That's not really it's not really great. I mean, Baltimore, I don't know. Baltimore's just been They've been crazy, man. So they have they have a little higher than 8 strikeouts per 9 during that time. They did have to lean more on that bullpen, though. That is one thing with the Baltimore Orioles. So they have to lean on that bullpen more. But the Angels, they were not a great bullpen. So not surprised that ended up catching up to them. So the offense, the starting pitching we've all kind of known with the Angels to be coming into the season. You weren't really sure about the starting pitching. Obviously, you had Ohtani. You didn't know what you were going to get as Syndergaard. Syndergaard actually pitched pretty well yesterday. So, but the offense just didn't step up. When you're just not, to me, they're kind of going through it all right now. They got one aspect of a team working one day, and then the other is not working at the same time, and then vice versa. Another area is not working, and then the other area is doing good. They're just not putting it together like they were in that first chunk of the season. Chase Silseth, he's had a couple of okay starts. I don't think he's really the answer to their problems as of right now. Patrick Sandoval, we actually go pull him up really quick, along with Reed Detmers. Patrick Sandoval has been having himself a pretty good season. If we take a look at his game log here, lately he has been getting hit a bit more than what he was. He was going through a really good stretch there. I mean, look at the game score of 83 against Cleveland. He struck out 9 over 7. But if you look at his last 2 starts, just not really a whole lot there. Against Toronto, he had 3 innings, 5 runs. My goodness. Against the Phillies, he ended up working into the 5th, gave up 2. Not a bad start by any means, but you would like your guy to go a little deeper into these games. So Patrick Sandoval, he's not been at his best the last couple of starts. So that's something to take note of. If we take a look at Reed Detmers. Reed Detmers has been having an okay season, but I don't like that 4.85 FIP compared to the 4.2 ERA. So looking here, he actually did okay against the Yankees his last time out. He didn't give up any runs, but he didn't really pitch deep into the game. So the Yankees chased him pretty quick. But looking at how he did against the Rangers, 5 runs over 6. Against the Rangers before that, he went into the 4th. He had given up 3 runs, 2 home runs. So Reed Detmers, ever since that no-hitter, hasn't really been all that effective. So they're not really getting a lot of these guys in the rotation to really step up. And I think Ohtani actually, if my memory serves me right, I feel like he did not do very well in his last outing. The last couple of outings, actually. The Yankees, 3 innings, 4 runs allowed. He gave up 3 home runs against them. I don't know what it is. He just has trouble pitching in Yankee Stadium. I don't know what's going on. Shohei Ohtani. Against the Blue Jays. Also got the loss there, too. 6 innings, 5 runs, 2 home runs. So he's giving up the home run ball quite a lot. So the last couple of turns through the rotation has just not really been all that inspiring. Now, Noah Syndergaard last night, on the other hand, he was giving up a few hits early. He was hittable, but he was able to get through that outing with a pretty solid outing overall. I mean, he had given up 5 hits, I think, through the first 2 innings, so I don't think he gave up a hit and after that. But overall, he went 6 innings, 5 hits allowed, an earned run, walked 1. So I thought Noah Syndergaard was going to be better. He did not look very good against the Yankees in his last outing, but I thought, you know what? I think he's going to make some adjustments. I think he's going to end up pitching a pretty good game. But then, like I'm saying, you got one part of the team working, and then the other part of the team's just not working. The offense yesterday just couldn't come up with anything. And let me pull up that offense here. Taking a look here. So during their losing streak, they have ranked 28th overall. I mean, Mike Trout is the big one. Mike Trout. Did he get a hit last night? Let me actually pull that up really quick. Mike Trout was like 0 for his last 26. And did he even... Hold on a second. Let me pull up his game log. He did have a hit yesterday. He did. He broke that hitless streak. I mean, look at this. Just 0 for 4, 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 0 for 5. So I don't know, man. When you don't got Trout, doing his thing, that's the big piece in the middle of your lineup. And when nothing is happening there, your offense is going to flounder for sure. Taylor Ward, I feel like he's also been going through some injuries lately. That was another one. He's on the IL with a hamstring. So he's been a big bat for them this year. And he was also dealing with some shoulder stuff not too long ago, and now he's dealing with a hamstring. So Taylor Ward was a big part of that offense, but now he's removed from the equation, and that's not going to help. Ohtani's been ice cold. Let me pull up Ohtani's games. He's had a couple of home runs, but overall, he's not really hitting like he did last year. The overall game that he brought to the plate last year was way better than he's doing this year. He's still hitting home runs and he's driving in some runs, but the batting average is uninspiring. The on base is low. I mean, look at his on base last year. It's a 372. That's 50 points lower. His slugging last year was 592. It's down to a 445. WRC plus is down about 30 points. He's just not been there offensively. That wasn't a big concern when the Angels were 27-17. But if we take a look lately, he's just been ice. He just hasn't really been doing anything. If you go back here, really his last good game was May 29th when he went 2 for 5. He had a couple of home runs in that game against Toronto. My goodness, what a stat line that is. But he's just not really been doing all that much. He had a hit last night, had a hit the night before, had a double actually against the Phillies. But he's just not really doing anything. He's a cold bat. So this is not a whole lot going on. If I keep going down the list here, Stassi's actually been pretty good lately. Here, let me actually put this in. Let me go back. 25th to today. We got 260 people in here. What's going on, everyone? How are we doing? How are we doing on those likes, everyone? How are we doing on the likes? Oh, come on. 53 likes? Oh, come on. Let's get that to 100. 100. Let's go. 100 likes. My goodness. Hope everyone's having a good day, though. Thank you for stopping by. But Stassi's actually been pretty good during this stretch. He's been hitting 323 over his last 9 games. Actually, Matt Duffy, too, has been hitting pretty well. Jared Walsh has been okay over his last 12. He's hitting 289, but he's not really getting on base all that much. Kurt Suzuki has played 4 games. Is he hurt? I feel like he might be. He's been dealing with a neck thing, so he hasn't been at his best. Anthony Rendon, what's going on with Anthony Rendon? Was he on the IL? Oh yeah, he had a wrist thing going on. That's right. But again, Anthony Rendon is. I'm going to be honest here. I might be getting to the point with Anthony Rendon where this could end up being one of the worst contracts. I'm just saying. He was pretty good in 2020, that first season. It was the short season. He was worth $20 million over that season. But last year, only worth $1.6 million. This year, he is worth $9.6 so far. I don't know, man. He's just not living up to what this contract is. He's making $35 million per year. He's got a massive contract, and he's just not doing anything. These are the numbers, for a guy that you're paying minimum salary to. These numbers are not going to get it done. He's been a big letdown, and granted, it's unfortunate. He's going through some injuries, but he's having a hard time staying on the field, and he's nowhere near these numbers that he was putting up with Washington. I mean, look at the numbers that he had in 2019. This guy was out of his mind. He had a 412 on base, right around a 600 slugging. He's not getting it done. And granted, yeah, I know injuries happen, but part of your value is being able to stay on the field. I understand fluke things can happen, but I don't know. The Angels, they've just been really uninspiring in both the starting pitching and the offense. Guys are just ice cold. And actually, if we're to take a look here, let me pull up the minimum plate appearances. I'll just do 10. Brandon Marsh has been ice cold. Remember, Andrew Velasquez was even contributing at some point. I remember his batting average was in the 300s at one point, but this guy has just gone completely ice. He's not doing anything for that lineup. The defense is really good with him, so that is a bright side. You got to like that. But, Trout's been cold. Ohtani's been cold. Rendon has been basically non-existent for the last 3 years. Brandon Marsh has also been really cold too. He was coming up and he came up and he's been contributing, except for during this streak. He's ice cold, hitting 154 over his last 10 games. I don't know, man. You got guys that are contributing, but the meat of the lineup here, Trout, Ohtani, Ward, Rendon, Marsh, they're not doing anything. Stassi's been great. Duffy's been pretty solid, but and you can't have those guys. You can't just put the team on their backs. You need your big boppers to be stepping up, and that's been a big concern. And now I'm wondering, because you're looking at now there's problems going on with the offense. There's problems going on with the starting pitching. They've had problems with his bullpen. It has not been the best bullpen. If we go pull up here, the relievers. Let's take a look here. Overall, in the first part of this, before the losing streak, they were 24th overall. But let me actually pull up some. Here, let me just pull up the overall numbers right now. You don't really have a lot of guys that are shining at the moment. Jimmy Herget's been their best guy all year over 19 games. But Raisel Iglesias, look at that ERA going up to 4.91. He's got 4 losses on the year. He's definitely blown a couple of saves. Loop was looking really good there, but he's been getting hit lately. The saving grace of this bullpen were these key guys like Iglesias. Bradley was looking pretty good. Loop was looking pretty good. Herget has been pretty solid all year, but the bullpen is catching up to them, right? They were able to get really good starts out of these starters. They didn't have to lean so much on this bullpen, but the bullpen, now that the starting pitching is struggling and the offense is struggling and a bad bullpen is having to step up, that's usually a recipe for disaster. So they've had to lean a lot on the starting pitching. Now, here's the thing. When you got every single area of your team performing badly, there's one guy that you always turn to. That's the head honcho. Because to me, with the Phillies, the funny thing with the Phillies, right? The funny thing with the Phillies is that the Phillies still ranked pretty well when it came to numbers, right? They were struggling with the bullpen. The offense wasn't doing terribly. The starting pitching has been really good all season with the Phillies. I think the difference with the Phillies, I think that was more of just a voice kind of a thing. I think the Phillies just needed a bit of a spark there. And I think, Joe Girardi, he just always seemed, you would watch post-game stuff. You'd see him in the dugout. He just never really seemed to be all that happy. I don't know. He just didn't really seem like, I've seen more. Trust me, I saw a lot of Joe Girardi as a Red Sox fan. I saw a way more energetic Girardi than I saw with the Phillies this year. And he could even say the same thing last year. Girardi is definitely more of a hard-nosed, kind of a old-school kind of a guy. But this year, I saw a way different Girardi than what I saw with the Yankees in the past. So, and trust me, I've seen a lot of Joe Girardi in the past. But he just didn't seem in it. I don't know. He just didn't seem as energetic, I would say. So I think with the Phillies, probably, definitely some coaching stuff going on. I think, not being able to get guys back on track. But I think just these guys, they just weren't hearing it anymore with Girardi. And I just think they just needed someone new. And I think with the Angels, I think it's also a bit of both. Because here's the thing. The Angels have been really good. They've been a really good team up until this losing streak. So I think, honestly, if I were to make a guess on what's going on, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what not sure. I'm sure stuff is going to come out over the next couple of days. But my guess is that Joe Maddon just probably wasn't running things very well. I think because you got everyone struggling on this team. Coaching staff, maybe not as organized. I don't know. I think it was more of a logistics kind of a thing. I think just the Angels, they were just all screwed up everywhere. And I don't think Joe Maddon, that out-of-the-box personality or that coaching style, is the right style to get a team that's in a rut out of that rut, if that makes any sense. The Phillies, I think they just had someone that was checked out. I think with the Angels, I just don't think Joe Maddon is the right guy to get them out of this. I just don't. I think Joe Maddon was in it. But I just think it was more, I don't know. Guys are just struggling all over the place, and he was not able to put together a plan to get this team back on track. So that's what I think the difference is. I definitely could be wrong, but we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening here. Phil Nevin was the third base coach, and now he will be the interim manager. So, hey, super chat coming in. Joe Girardi, what's going on? Don't want to put you on the spot, but please give me one trade prediction for the trade deadline. Ooh, if I were to be on the spot, if you were to hold a wooden spatula to my head, let's see. I'll go Frankie Montes to the Twins. I bet you that's going to happen. I could see the Twins stepping up for a guy like that. I could see them getting a starting pitcher like Castillo or Montes. At least I would like them to. Will they? I don't know. I could see Castillo. I mean, look out for the Dodgers, too. I would say for Montes and Castillo, one of those guys will go to either the Dodgers or the Twins. That's what I'm thinking. But thank you, George Girardi Hater, for the $4.99 super chat. So we'll have to see here what's going to end up happening. Phil Nevin going to be taking over. And I'm just going to point this out today because I got kind of like called out on Twitter today. Like, I don't know what the heck was up with this, but there was an article written on The Athletic. I don't even remember the name, but I don't remember who it was that wrote it. I apologize. But she wrote an article about who the next manager will be for the Phillies. And I'm thinking here, I mean, come on, can we give Thompson a bit? Why are we writing an article here? Why are we writing a full-blown article about all these guys that could be the next manager? Why don't we give Rob Thompson a bit of a shot here? Wonder Davey, what's going on? No surprise here. Might not be the last either. And Wonder Davey, before I actually move on, I wonder, could some other managers be on the hot seat here? And really quick, before I get back to what I was talking about, it's possible. I wonder. I've been wondering about La Russa here for a little bit. Could Tony La Russa be on the hot seat, man? I don't know. They're not in as a bad of a position, but they are underperforming. Now, I think they're going to get some guys coming back from injuries, and I think that's going to help them. So I wonder if La Russa could be at least on the warm seat. I'm wondering, Serviceman with Seattle. They're 3 out in the wild card. They have been playing better lately. So I were to say if Seattle kind of goes back to some losing ways, could Service be a guy that could be on the block or on the chopping block? I think for Seattle, they're looking a lot better lately. So I'm not going to go there just yet with Seattle. But I would say the one guy, if I were to point out a guy in the American League, I'd probably lean towards La Russa right now. And if I'm looking at the National League, I don't know. I think Mattingly is fine. I think if anything, he'll end up just being an off-season. I don't know. I think the Brewers are not playing all that well, but Counsell, he's going to be completely fine. I don't see them moving on from him at all. The only reason I bring up the Brewers is because they have not been playing very well lately. There's no way they would get rid of him. I don't even know why I brought that up. You got Lovello with the Diamondbacks. I don't know. I think Lovello will be on his way out soon. Eventually. Probably off season. I think they just extended his contract. I can't fully remember. But out of all these guys, I think La Russa is the guy that's on the hottest seat. So that's what I'm thinking. Because the White Sox, a lot of people were picking them maybe even for a World Series. And they're underperforming this year. So, but getting back to my point on the what I was talking about earlier with the article that was written on The Athletic. There was a full-blown article about, who could be the next manager for the Phillies. And yes, she did list Thompson as a candidate. So I did read the article. And but to me, I'm thinking, why is this article even being written? It's like, how would you feel if you're at work, right? You just took over a spot, and whatever you may do, I don't know, whatever you may do, whether you're, I don't know, car salesman, you're baking cookies, I don't know, doing whatever. And let's say, a guy got fired, you got put into their spot. How would you feel if, you were named that replacement, but people are saying, oh, who's going to be the next guy? Who's going to be the next guy? Who's the next manager? Who's going to be the next person for this position? Well, how would you feel? You'd be sitting there thinking, well, hello, how about me? But it's like, so my point is that, and the woman that wrote the article, she was like, oh, it looks like you didn't read the article. Well, no, excuse me, ma'am. I did read the article. Thank you very much. And yeah, but to me, I'm thinking, like, why is this article even being written? It's like, the guy hasn't even managed, 5 games? And we're writing a full-blown article. Like, I get it. You need content. You need clicks. I get it. The Athletic, I know it's kind of going down the tubes. You had to sell yourselves out. I get it. I understand it. It's tough times with the Athletics right now. With the Athletic right now. Especially after you said 4 or 5 years ago, that you were gonna dominate the sports media world, and but then you ended up selling out. So, I know I get it. It's a tough time at the Athletic right now. I get it. But I don't know. To me, to be called out like that, it's just like, what are you talking about? And it's like, first off, I read the article. So maybe next time, maybe ask if I read the article. Thank you. But to me, I'm thinking here, why are we writing this article about the Phillies? They're looking great. It's just like these writers, they just want to create that drama. They want to create that negativity. Why? Because they want people to click on your articles, and they want people to sign up for a subscription. And it's like, let's just get away from the lazy writing. It's like, I get it, fun little article. You want to think, oh, who's going to be the next manager for the Phillies, right? Oh, that's fun. But it's like, come on. It's like, this guy just got put into this role. How about let's see what this guy can do before we start writing some articles. I'm just saying. So, but the Athletic, I get it. It's a tough time. You're kind of reaching for stuff, and I get it. So, but yes, just to let you know, I forgot what her name was, but I did read the article. Thank you very much. Angels have fired Joe Maddon, and wow. Now for the Angels moving forward, if we go pull up their schedule, you got a few more games here against Boston. They're hot. I am going to say Whitlock is pitching for the Red Sox tonight. I thought it was going to be Detmers pitching. So, I don't know. I thought it was Detmers. So, if I were to pull up the Angels. Oh, no, that's tomorrow. I'm sorry. They did say Tuesday the other day. But, yeah, I don't know who's getting the start tonight. I guess it's just going to be a bullpen game. We'll have to wait and see who ends up getting the nod. So that's not a great look for the Angels right now. I mean, come on. We got, man. I got to say, though, if there is, D-Book, yes, that is correct. Yes. But I got to say, the Angels' city uniforms are absolutely fantastic. Please, can we just give it up for these city unis? These look awesome. These are actually one of my favorites. They have a classic look to them. This is how I want City Connect jerseys to be. They just have like I like that retroness to them, but I like for them to check off a lot of boxes. I want them to give off the vibe, right, of the city that you're in. Whether that's a historical or a modern kind of a connection. But I just love that retro sort of a look. These are actually some of my favorite. This actually is right near the top. I would say these are top 3. Absolutely. I think you got to go with the White Sox in there. And listen, their favorite jerseys. I mean, you can go either way with these jerseys, but gotta say the White Sox need to be in there. I'm going blank actually. We're taking a bit of a turn right now. I'll get back to the Angels in just a second. Okay, ESPN from June Lee. All right, let's get through this here. So, is he ranking these? Oh, he puts the Rockies at number 1. Oh man, I do like the Rockies ones. They have they have a bit of an edge to them. That's what I kind of like about it. They're green. You never see green in baseball like that, except for the A's, right? But you never see like that kind of a dark green. I like these ones. I don't know if I would put them near the top. White Sox definitely need to be in the top. And I also love the Marlins red jerseys. I wonder who the next one is going to be. But Mike of Stark Raving Sports, who I was at the Burlington Sock Puppets game last week, along with the Carolina Disco Turkeys. I spent a good amount of time with him last week. He's an awesome guy. Go follow Stark Raving Sports if you haven't already. They make great content over there. But he had a red Miami City Uni jersey on. Oh, it's so good. Who's number 3? That's number 3 here. Yeah, this is definitely at the top. I love this jersey. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm still kind of in the middle on the Nationals. Still pretty in the middle. I don't know what it is. Like I don't know. Like I'm still warming up to them. At first I was like, oh, what is that? But then I've looked at them a little bit more lately. I think they look okay. My Red Sox ones, they are now the meaning of it. I think everyone can absolutely get on board with the meaning of these jerseys. You know, it's paying, you're giving respect to the Boston Marathon, back in 2013. And so that the meaning of them is absolutely amazing. I love that. Now, people are pretty split, I would say, on the colors. Now, speaking of Stark Raving Sports, we were talking about this in a ride along. I think we were going to the Sock Puppets game. I can't remember, but he was saying he would have liked it if the jerseys were blue and the hats were yellow. If you just switched it around. To me, I can't, being a ginger with pale skin, I'm not going to be able to pull off wearing something yellow. It's just going to look weird on me. The blue, I love the blue. I have my city hat right here. That's one of my favorite hats. I love that hat. I just love the blue. I like more blue, less yellow. I do like the Diamondbacks. I actually think the Diamondbacks ones are pretty underrated. I just like the color. I like the font. I just like it. I like them. I actually really like the Astros. I think you can make an argument for the Astros to be top 3. I love the Astros ones. I think they're fantastic. I don't know. But I also just love the hat too. I love that. I love these. They're so fun. Angels, come on. These got to be up higher. June Lee, what the heck are you doing? You're putting the Angels down here? These look amazing. Put them up higher, June Lee. Come on. Giants, listen, all I see is the Gatorade logo. I'm sorry. These are jerseys for the Gatorade slow pitch softball team. I'm sorry. I can't get it. I like the hat. I do like the hat. It's just that G. All I see is Gatorade. I'm sorry. I do like Kansas City. I like them. I think they're just fine. I'd give them like a solid B overall. I think I wish there was a little bit more to it. I don't know. But I like the colors. I do like that logo. The Cubs, I wasn't a big fan of the Cubs. I just thought it was kind of boring, I think you could have made these a little more fun. I do like the colors. The Dodgers, I'm sorry, like what? It's the hat that ruined it for me, but it's also just they look too much like your regular jerseys. Like you say Los Dodgers, but they look like your spring training jersey. I don't know. And then you got Los Dodgers on the hat, and then you got the blue pants. Like, these are the worst ones. They're horrible. I don't know what was the inspiration. I don't know. But I would say with this list, Mr. June Lee, if you are watching for some reason, the Angels, you got to put them up higher. These look great. I do like the Astros. I could see them. You could probably go in the middle for those. I could see people not liking the Astros too much. I don't know. I just like it. I like kind of the change in colors a little bit down here. I like how it goes orange and yellow. I like it, man. I do. But I would say overall, my favorite ones, I really do like these white. I would say White Sox, Marlins, and then I think there's an argument for the Angels to be in that top 3. You can go either way. But anyway, back to the Angels here. Back to the Angels. So, no Maddon. There's no pitcher for tonight. So you're going with a bullpen game, and your bullpen is just horrendous. So at least I think it's a bullpen game as of right now. And then there's, at least on Fangraphs here, it is listed as Detmers for tomorrow, and then Ohtani against the Red Sox for the final game. Now, the one thing about Ohtani is one of his I would actually think probably his best game on the mound this year was against the Red Sox. No, his best game was actually against Houston, believe it or not. He was nasty against the Red Sox. He had 7 innings, 11 strikeouts, but his best outing, according to Game Score, came against the Astros. 6 innings, 12 strikeouts. So, but he was really good against the Red Sox in that game. So that is one thing to keep in mind, is that he has had success against them this year. So bad couple of outings. I think Ohtani's going to end up being pretty good in that game. But definitely tonight you could see 13 games tonight. You really could. A 13-game losing streak. You got no starter for tonight. I'm guessing it's going to be a bullpen game. I would imagine, because there's no one listed on Fangraphs. I don't know. So there's not really Angels probable pictures. Picturelist.com. What is this? So there is. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was Detmers. It was Detmers listed for tonight. So I don't know why it's not there anymore. Did something happen with Detmers? Let me pull him up really quick. I mean, he's listed for tomorrow. I mean, that would make sense if he pitched on the 3rd. Well, then it kind of wouldn't make sense for him to go tonight. So I don't know why he was listed for tonight. So he's taking his normal turn tomorrow. So, but yeah. Yeah, Benjamin, no pitchers listed for the whole series. It's kind of weird. So, James, are they going to be making a call-up for tonight? That would also make sense, too. Who could be making the call-up? I'm not quite sure. But, again, kind of getting back to this, I think with Matt, I don't know. We're going to have to wait. I don't want to sit here and just say, it's because of this, because of this, because of this. If I were to make a guess, it just feels like the team was kind of a mess. A bad bullpen caught up to them. The starting pitchers, remember we pointed out that really low batting average on balls in play. That caught up to them a little bit. The offense is having injuries. I think they're just a mess right now. It's just a lot of stuff going on with this team. But what I can appreciate, Jay Elliott, yes, I will be coming up with some draft content this month. I'm pretty excited for the draft. It's almost that time, my friend. It's almost that time. But what I appreciate about the Angels here is that they are showing that urgency, right? Because, this is a guy that they put a lot of faith in when they hired him. Joe Maddon, winning a World Series back in 2016 with the Cubs. This wasn't just some random hiring. This was Joe Maddon. This is a guy who's been to a couple World Series before, winning one with the Cubs, going to a World Series with the Rays, a lot of playoff success, has a good track record. But I think in the end, there was just too much of a mess. A lot of guys struggling in the offense, guys that are injured, starting pitching. They're not as effective lately, but a bad bullpen has not been able to dig them out of some holes. and then more pressure is being put on the bullpen, and it's not really a great bullpen overall. So I don't know. I just think the Angels are kind of a mess all over the place right now, and there's a lot of things, and I think it was. I just think it comes down. If I were to make a guess, I don't think it's a personality thing. I don't know. Again, we're going to have to wait and see. I would imagine guys were, unless, maybe some of these players thought that maybe Joe Maddon was just getting a little too cute with stuff, and maybe they were starting to lose that connection with him. If you remember Mike Trout with the bases loaded walk, you remember that Mike Trout, they caught a pretty decent little reaction of him. And he was just thinking, what the heck is going on here? Right? I don't know if anyone saw that. But I wonder if some of those moves were making the players a little kind of losing some faith in Maddon. And maybe sometimes during this losing streak, maybe he was, again, I will admit, I'm not sitting here and watching every single Angels game. Okay. But I would imagine maybe some moves have been made. And the players are thinking, oh, Joe, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are you making that move? So maybe they were losing a bit of a connection with him in that way. Maybe they were losing some faith in him. I don't think that the Angels, of course they're going out there and playing hard. But then you have these weaknesses on the team. Guys hurt, guys slumping, starting pitching, getting taxed, I would say. A bad bullpen has not really been helping them out all that much. So they've done their job for the most part. Iglesias was getting saves, but it's caught up to them. And I don't know. But what I can appreciate is that the Angels are showing some urgency. At the end of the day, the players are going to have to get themselves out of some holes. And let's see if Phil Nevin, let me actually pull him up here. So Phil Nevin, I don't think he's been a manager, right? I think he's just always been, I can't remember, was he ever like an interim manager? Or was he ever, no, I don't think he was. I think, no, he's always just been like a coach. So, but, hey, maybe, I would imagine he's probably not going to do anything crazy. And maybe that's what the Angels need right now. Maybe they just need some simplicity. Maybe they just need, not going crazy with some of these moves, So we're going to have to wait and see. But James Hirota, I'm going to take a lot of stock into what you're saying here because I know you're one of the bigger Angels fans on my channel. There were a couple of bad bullpen moves that sent it spiraling. Then the starters kept getting yanked without being allowed to pitch out of jams, which they can do. Nevin was a manager at AAA. Yeah, I was about to say, wasn't he a manager somewhere? Like, I couldn't remember. I know he's been a coach. But yeah, absolutely. That could be a bit of a morale kind of a thing too. When you're yanking these guys out of these starts early, if they're getting into some trouble, that's why it's like, come on, have that bit of an old school approach. Let these guys kind of work out of some jams. If you go back, remember when the Cubs, they won that World Series. It was not an easy path for the Cubs. Remember they got to that World Series and you're thinking, oh my God, he's making some moves with his bullpen right now. And but luckily the talent of that team just ended up, I think, bailing him out of some of the moves that he was making. So I remember that World Series, man. Joe Maddon, if they didn't win that World Series, I think Maddon would have gotten a ton of flack for that. And because he was making some weird moves. He was making some weird bullpen moves. He was, I don't know, I can't think off the top of my head right now. I remember Chapman, I think he was leaving. He was working Chapman so much in the entire postseason that year. He was really trying to get a lot out of Chapman. Chapman looked gassed in that World Series. I feel like he left him out a little too long because then he gave up the Rajai Davis home run. I can't fully. I'd have to go back, but yeah. I think in the end, Joe Maddon just making some questionable moves. I think some managerial decisions probably caught up to him. And I think these players that might be getting a little disconnected. And hey, maybe Phil Nevin's a guy, just someone that can come in and just kind of keep things simple. you know? And I think that's what the Angels need. So, Alex Baker, he pulled Hendricks out early. That's right. I remember, I can't fully remember because I'm thinking I was watching the game with Josh, who will be the new co-host on Hot Takes every Wednesday night. So everyone, 240 people in the chat, every Wednesday night, we do Hot Takes. And Josh, who was doing the Monday show with me, but I've had to kind of move stuff around because of the Red Sox podcast, he is now going to be moving from the Monday show to the Wednesday show with me. So I actually think that will be a pretty good thing. Hey, both of us get to react to your hot takes. So also, I was saying before I get back to just talking about this really quick, I will say also, I was kind of talking during power rankings last night about maybe moving the power rankings back to Sunday. I'm still a little undecided, right? Because I'm kind of figuring out the podcast thing. I might move the power rankings back to Sunday, but I feel like last night the viewership was pretty decent, so I might keep the power rankings on Monday nights. I'm still a little undecided on that, so I got to kind of go look deeper into the numbers a little bit, and I'll let you know. But definitely be on the lookout for either Sunday or Monday. It'll be one of those nights. So, but Joe Maddon, man. Joe Maddon. I think Joe Maddon, I think he's going to end up kind of taking that Ron Washington route where he ends up becoming a base coach, a bench coach. I think Maddon will end up being in one of those roles at some point. I could also see Maddon definitely in a booth somewhere. Could he end up maybe being an analyst for the Rays or something like that? Could he go to MLB Network? Hey, an analytical guy like that, he's a talker, man. I guarantee you could see Maddon on some kind of a network somewhere. I think it'd be pretty cool if he was with the Rays on their broadcast team. I think that could be pretty cool. So, but I could definitely see Maddon being like some kind of a first base coach, third base coach, maybe a bench coach. I don't think he'll be a manager anytime soon. Joe Girardi Hater, what's going on? Did you see what Maddon said on his way out? What did he say? Oh, man. What did Joe Maddon say? What did he say? No, I didn't see it. Where Dusty Baker said about Joe Maddon, Joe's a good guy and a good manager. It's rare when you see a manager just let go 1/3 through the season. I was just saying that earlier. You never see managers get relieved in the season. It's always, at least lately, I'm trying to think, who was the last manager fired before this year in the season? I can't remember. It was not recent. I know that for a fact. But it is crazy. I agree with Baker. You don't ever see it. It shows one bad streak or two, anybody can be gone. Especially with a team that's showing urgency, right? A team that's got that urgency, it's like, yeah, you got to make some kind of a move. So CJ Woodling, he tweeted out 2 minutes ago, I still think Maddon is far from the worst manager in baseball, but I have to wonder how much his post-game comments affected this. Was this what you're talking about here, Joe Girardi Hater? Oh, super chat coming in. Oh, Rosenthal. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, that's ringing some bells now. Greg and John, what's going on, my friend? Oh, here we go. Okay, Bleacher Report is coming out. Oh, okay. So it looks like Joe Maddon was actually very surprised. Here we go. All right, Buster Olney. Let me pull this up. Here we go. Let me pull this up here for all of you. Where is it? Okay. Let's see. All right. ESPN's Buster Olney reported the Angels had discussed making a managerial change. The final decision came as a surprise to Maddon. A little bit, actually a lot, he told Ken Rosenthal. when asked if he was surprised by the move. You always rely on people in charge to read the tea leaves properly. This time, they did not. You didn't even have to ask me. You can ask any of the players or coaches. They're the ones who really know. He also noted there was no dissension or no finger pointing in the club. I'm telling, that's what I just said. Didn't I just say that? I just said that. I was just saying, I don't think it was like a clubhouse thing. I think it was more of just kind of just an overall, just managing the team kind of a thing. I don't think there was any bit of like, negativity. Maybe there could have been some players that were like, oh man, what kind of a move was that? But I don't think there was anything really negative going on in that clubhouse, because this was a team that was winning. And then they just had this horrible losing streak. So to me, I think it was just the way things were being run. Now, Maddon's not going to say that, but I wonder, how are the pitchers being managed? The moves that you're making in the game. I think it was more of a logistics thing. And he did just say this. He said there's no dissension, no finger pointing in the clubhouse. So, yeah, man. Yeah, man. So he says he continues to go on to say, asked if he would still be interested in returning to the dugout in the future. Of course, I want to manage. When asked if he wants another shot at managing, I'm really good at it. I mean, he looked like a great manager up until this losing streak. I kind of feel bad for the guy. I just don't think it was. I don't think it was like a negative clubhouse. I think it was this guy's. It was a perfect storm. I think this losing streak, everything was going wrong. Everything was going wrong with this team. Guys are unhealthy. Guys are slumping. Starting pitching is slumping. Bullpen has been bad all year. So, they just got to get back on track. So, Abhinav, Joe Maddon to the Phillies, maybe. I don't know. Go talk to The Athletic. She wrote an article about new managers that could be, for the Phillies. The Athletic, they need clicks. So, you might want to go talk to them about that. But everyone, I think I'm going to get out of here. Kind of just wanted to hop on for a little bit. A bit of surprising news here. Joe Maddon, the second manager this year, fired. And, man, oh man. This is, it's pretty nuts. I was not expecting to see this today. I was actually working on some stuff. I was kind of just hanging out. And all of a sudden, bam, Joe Maddon fired. And to me, this is kind of, I'm connected with this a little bit because my Red Sox are playing the Angels. So it's going to be a different vibe in tonight's game. There's going to be a lot of talk, even from Nesson with the Red Sox. They're going to be talking about this a lot tonight. So everyone, while you're here, if you can, please hit that subscribe button for me. Hit that like button for me. Everyone, how many likes are we at right now? Where are we at? 119 likes. Let's try and get to 150 before we get out of here. But yes, if you are new, think about subscribing to the channel. We're getting pretty close to 25,000. That's the next goal. That's our next mini milestone. So if you can, help us get there. And hit that like button for me, everyone, on your way out. Hit the bell notification so you get notified, hey, every time I go live, just like I did now. And share the stream if you can as well. And share any of the other content on my channel. Everyone, I will be back at some point. Not tonight. I won't be live tonight unless someone else gets fired. If someone else gets fired, I'll be live. But we will be back tomorrow night for Hot Takes. We will have a live show tomorrow with Josh and I, and that will be fun. So be on the lookout for a post on the community tab where you'll be able to post your hot take. And yeah, that's all I got for right now, everyone. Have yourself a good rest of your night. Go eat some food. Go do whatever you got to do. Everyone, I'll talk to you next time.